With the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct coming out just only a few days from today, I wanted to take my shot at potentially predicting what is going to be in said Direct. As of the time of recording this, I don't know anything about it. There may be a chance that between me recording this and releasing this that they might reveal how long the Direct is going to be. So since I do not know that, I'm also going to try to predict that as well. But I do have a few predictions to go through, so we're going to go through them and we're going to see just how well it all turns out. So the first prediction is more of a three-parter. This prediction is going to go over the release date, the price, and something else. I think they're going to announce that Switch 2 is going to release on June 6th. I don't think they're fully going to commit just yet to releasing a console on a Thursday. June 6th would be a Friday, and it will exactly double the March 3rd that the original Switch came out on. It'll also be after everything is said and done with all their events, so I think this time would be just about perfect for it. I also think that the console is going to launch for $400. I think it's obvious that we're probably not going to get lower. It's not going to go $350. It's not going to go $3. That's pretty obvious, and I don't think they're going to want to push it to go up to $5. $450 I can see, but I think they're going to settle somewhere nice at $400. And while I don't know what the potential blank button is, or some people have seen potential leaks of it saying a C, I don't know what that is. I do think that the mouse control that people have been suggesting and rumoring could totally be an actuality. I think that is going to be one of the main gimmicks for this system. And because it's going to be a main gimmick for the system, I think they're going to have a game release on launch day with those controls. And what other game would make probably the best use of those controls for I know a lot of people than Mario Maker 3? Call me crazy, but I really think Mario Maker 3 with the mouse control, since people obviously really like doing it on the gamepad, not having that surefire way of being able to place the blocks how you want to do them and you have to more or less use your control sticks, you give them an opportunity to use their Joy-Con as a mouse. I think that will be a very good selling idea for the mouse mechanic. Something else that I think is going to come at launch is going to be the inclusion of the GameCube to the NSO. It is something that people have wanted for a long time now. People wanted GameCube for so long. I think it's finally going to happen, and I think it's going to be a pushing sell to get the Switch 2. I have a feeling though, and I hope I'm wrong, but I have a feeling that they're going to give an even higher upcharge for your online services by about $10 to $15 a year if you're in the group, or $5 to $10 if you're alone, to be able to do this. I want to be wrong, but I just have that feeling. Next, I think they're going to reveal that Metroid Prime 4 is going to launch in the launch month of the system. I don't think it'll be day one, but I do think that if it does come out in June, that it'll probably come out towards around like the middle to end of the month. That way you have your one kind of big game right at the beginning, and then you have another one come out in a few weeks, and then so on and so forth. Next, we're going to go into some things that I think could be for July. I think that Mario Kart 9, 10, or whatever it's going to be called, I think that'll be released a month afterwards. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they did with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I have a feeling they might do just about the same thing here. I'm so looking forward to this game, and I can't wait for them to show more of it, and they're going to show more of it, but I truly think that something with the mechanics of the Switch will come out day one, whereas something like this will potentially be something that might be a month later. So I'm going to lock in July for now, and I hope I'm wrong, and I do hope it's like day one, but something's telling me that it's not going to be day one. Something else that I think will come out in July is a third-party thing, and more or less the only third-party thing that I really thought of for this video. I think we're going to get Grand Theft Auto 5. I think Grand Theft Auto 5 will finally come to a Nintendo console, and I'm going to hope that the Switch 2 is definitely powerful enough and won't have any lapses in it to be able to handle it, but I think they're going to want to get it on there early, and they're going to want to get it on there before GTA 6 comes out. Because once GTA 6 comes out, everybody's going to be flocking to that. Nobody's really going to be flocking back to 5 unless, you know, they just want to do it for whatever reason. But I think they're going to want to get it on there before 6 comes out. Next, we're going to go with something that I think might come out in August, and I think that's going to be a brand new 2D Kirby game. Me personally, I want a new 3D Kirby game. I absolutely loved Forgotten World, but I think they're going to want to start with a 2D Kirby game just to get their holds on everything, and then go into a 3D Kirby game maybe a year or two down the line. So I think that'll be our August game. But I do think there's going to be one more game that comes at some point in the summer, whether it is July or August or like very, very early September. And I think that's going to be a remake of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Throughout the history of the older 3D Zelda games, we've gotten remakes for Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. We've gotten remakes for Wind Waker, and I think we've also gotten a remake for the other one that's on the Wii that I can't think of the name of right now. I'm just gonna probably pop it on screen right now, but we've never gotten Twilight Princess, and I think now is probably the time that they're officially going to go through with it. A little extra thing that I would love for them to do, but I know they're not going to, would be Four Swords from GameCube. Even if they only put it on the NSO for GameCube, that'd be awesome. But a remake would be even better, but who knows? It probably won't happen. Not in the slightest. Next, we're going to go into the game that I think will come out in September, and I think that is going to be a brand new Mario baseball game. I think it is time. It is the 40th anniversary. Baseball is basically the only sport that didn't get anything for the Switch. We've gotten our soccer, we've gotten our tennis, and we've gotten our golf. Baseball didn't get a damn thing. And to some regard, I am a little happy about that, just in case they potentially screwed it up. But I think now's the time. They're going to give us the roster that we want. They're going to give us a decent amount of fields. They're going to give us the ability to play it online. And I do think it will be a big hit. Mario Baseball, come in September. Next, we're going to talk about our October game. And I mean, it's the first year of a new console. We're not gonna have the big new 3D Zelda game. We just basically got our 2D Zelda game not too recently. So what other better time than the 40th anniversary than to give us our brand new 3D Mario? I don't know if it's going to be a fully open world 3D area for you to go through, if it's going to be something like Odyssey where you gotta go from place to place, or if it's going to be something along the lines of 64 Sunshine, where you have a hub world to go to other worlds. I don't know which of those it's going to be. All I know is that because it's the 40th anniversary, it is something that is almost definitely going to come within this Direct, and we're going to see it for the first time. For the next game that they're going to show that I think is going to come out in November, I mean, they've already shown it a little bit, not Nintendo themselves, but it's been shown off a little bit. And I mean, I'm sure they're probably going to want to mention that it is probably coming out this year, and there is the total possibility that it could totally get a Switch 2 release, and I think that's going to be Pokemon Legends ZA. We already know that it's coming out this year. I think November is almost always when Pokemon comes out, so I think it is going to be something that they're going to want to show off at least a little bit, just be like, hey, it is getting a Switch 2 release. This is how it looks on this system compared to the older system, because I do think there's a possibility that it could be multi-platform release. But yeah, I think that we totally have a decent chance of actually seeing a Pokemon game in a Nintendo Direct again, since I think Sword and Shield, so we'll see though. Now, I don't have anything specifically for December, but before we get to the games that I think they're going to show off that will come out in 2026, we're going to talk about something else that I think is a total possibility that is going to happen, because it feels like it happens almost every Nintendo Direct. We're getting farming. I don't know if it's going to be 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, 10 games. I don't know. We're getting farming. It's going to happen, and we're all going to like it, and we're all going to enjoy it. So just be prepared. It will show up. And now, to end it off, we're going to talk about the games that I think they're going to show off that will come out next year. The first thing that I think they might show off is a new Yoshi game. I don't know if it's going to be 2D or 3D, but I think we have gone a decent amount of time without a new Yoshi game, but now I think it's the time that they're going to want to show off whatever they have cooking for the Yoshi series. But I do think the Yoshi game will come out sometime within the first quarter to half of the year. Next, I think they're going to show off a brand new Animal Crossing game. Animal Crossing was such a big thing on the Nintendo Switch, and it's easy to understand why, because of what everybody was going through when the game had actually released. But I think now they're going to want to bring it to the new system. They're going to want to announce it initially to get that even bigger hype for it. And I think that whatever this new Animal Crossing is, we're going to see the first look. It might even just be a title. There's a total possibility it's just Animal Crossing 2026. But I think it has a chance of probably releasing sometime in like the second quarter, springtime-ish for next year. Next, we'll talk about a game that I think will probably come out towards like the summertime of next year. And I think it's finally time. We have gotten it for The Legend of Zelda, and we have gotten it for Fire Emblem. I think it is finally time that we get Xenoblade Warriors. Aside from Fire Emblem and The Legend of Zelda, Xenoblade is probably the one Nintendo series that I think fits this aspect of the warrior style of gameplay the best. And ever since we had gotten Fire Emblem Warriors, I really thought Xenoblade had a good shot of getting a Warriors type game on the Nintendo Switch, but since it hasn't, I think that is going to be the potential game that is going to be shown off for the summer of next year. But I do have one more prediction for what I think could show up in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, and it is something that people have been begging and wanting for so long now, and I think that this Direct will be the time that they do show it off. I think we are finally going to see Tomodachi Life 2. I think it is something that they have been working on for a little bit, but they obviously want to save it. They want to make sure that they get it right. They want to make sure that everything is as it needs to be for the game. I don't know if it's going to come out this year. I don't know if it's going to come out next year, but I think that Tomodachi Life will be one of the games that not everybody is expecting, but will actually show up. But those are my predictions for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. I tried to keep things in order as much as I could going through the timeline of this year and next year, just to make things nice and simple. But what are your guys' predictions? What do you think that we're going to see on April 2nd? Let me know down in the comments below. And for those of you who are sticking around, consider joining me on April 2nd to watch my reaction to the Direct itself. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on April 2nd for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct.